Hello everyone and welcome to another video. Today I have something silly and a little different to show you. I have created a mod or fan-made expansion, if you will, for Java War of the Ring. I suspect it's not very balanced, but I've enjoyed playing it with a couple people, including Mark and Ace and Generic Pie. And so today I'd like to show you one of those games against Ace. The map looks exactly the same as always, and the goal of the game is the same as always. However, keen-eyed viewers may have noted already that I'm viewing the Free People's hand, and it has Cruel Weather in it. And if we look at the Shadow hand, there are Free People cards. And what's going on here is I have modified every card to allow the decks to be swapped. That's right, the Free People are beginning with all the Shadow cards, and the Shadow is beginning with all the Free People cards. I think the game, I think this mod will work best if we just see it as we go. So I will be playing the Shadow against Ace's Free People. Excuse me. I draw into Dane Ironfoot's Guard. As you can see, Dane Ironfoot's Guard allows a Southron and Easterling unit to be recruited in Erebor. That's pretty good. And then Valor works if a Shadow Elite is in the battle. Of course, that's exciting. Wizard's Staff, you play on the table, and then you discard Wizard's Staff to draw an extra hunt tile. As is normal, correct? All of these cards have been reversed. So Wizard Staff, a pretty good early draw. We'll take a look at the Free People hand. I won't spend this much time on each card. I will try to make sure that the cards are visible for a longer time if you are able to read them, and I will try to highlight them. Pardon me if I do not highlight them correctly or long enough for you. Also, this game was played on voice chat, so our logs will be a little bit hard to follow. I'll do my best. The Free People begins with Cruel Weather, and as you can see, reverse Cruel Weather is pretty good. It's pretty good. It's just a free move. And Cruelest Death is pretty good too, since it spends the Nazgul leadership to benefit the Free People. Similarly, Musterings of a Long-Planned War can just kill units in Gorgoroth and Nirn, which doesn't help the vast majority of the time, much like regular Musterings of a Long-Planned War. Oh, I hope you guys enjoy this. I had fun creating it and showing it to a couple people. So I go ahead and allocate one eye, roll one more, decent first roll, and Ace gets 2 C's, 2 M's. That's pretty good. No Palantirs with Gandalf as the guy. It's always sad, but he goes ahead and moves and is safe. So I just go ahead and play Wizard Staff, as you do. He moves again and is safe again. Well, all right. Barad-dûr goes to Gorgoroth. The elves move down the political track. Isengard goes to war. Elves go down the political track. And I split Isengard to Moria or rather North Dunland to Moria and Gorgoroth to Morannon. So nothing special, nothing to see here, folks. As Shadow, I draw there and back again, which allows you to separate people from the companion or companions from the Fellowship, and if they're in Dale, move Erebor or Woodland Realm, move the political tracks backwards, which is pretty good. Swords and Eriador gives Isengard units in the Shire, so it's kind of the flavorful Scourging of the Shire that everyone wants, right? Black Captain commands now works with Aragorn, and Shadows Gather. Now, the Shadows Gather, Shadows Lengthen cards are pretty good for the Free People, as I would imagine you're already thinking. Moving an army 3 regions to meet up with another army can be pretty devastating. And even the reverse Mumakil is pretty good. So, yep. The Fellowship decides to declare out of Rivendell because, after all, there are no Shadow Hunt cards anymore. They don't exist. They're put into the Free People deck. So they go ahead and do that. I'm not sure that's strategically a good choice, but it's funny. 1 eye allocated, 1 eye rolled. A will rolled. Go ahead and move. Can we get it? Nope. Fellowship's still safe. So Gandalf's going to be a little late this game. So I use my Palantir as Shadow to play there and back again. Yep, those are the correct words. I'm going to go ahead and separate a level 1 or 2 companion and move them an extra region. So Boromir decides to go to Evendim, which would normally not be where you would want to put a companion, but Fear Fire Foes and Book of Mazarbel don't exist anymore. They're in my deck. So I'm not worried about that. So it's effectively a deal 2 corruption. Assumably, yeah, Free People's Pass. I move 2 armies out. I'm a little worried about shenanigans just because Free People deck now has things like Shadow Length and Shadow Gather, so I leave 1 in Dol Guldur. And he goes ahead and puts a guy in Dimrill Dale, which is super annoying right now. Didn't want to have to spend my muster on Sauron, or rather I can't afford to spend my muster on Sauron. So Dagorlad moves north towards Dewline, and Far Harad goes to Near Harad. Will of the West moves the Fellowship. Finally they are hit, and I draw a 1. He goes ahead and kills Gandalf. In this game we played that meant that Gandalf was not available to have the wizard staff used against him. I think we modified that in future playtests, but for now that meant Gandalf was no longer in the Fellowship, therefore wizard staff was discarded. I go ahead and get Saruman, and he uses his muster to... he tries to play Musterings of the Long Plan War, but then realizes that it has to be specific units, and all the southern shadow armies have to be at war, so Gondor just goes down towards war. No Man's Land goes up to Southern Vanian, and we have ourselves a standard game, right? The Shadow draws I Will Go Alone, which lets you move companions back onto the Fellowship for corruption. Thranduil's lets you muster units in Woodland Realm, so that's pretty good. Let's see what Free People's gets. Gets Nazgul Search, which is pretty good. It lets you move all the Nazgul and then hide the Fellowship. And Pits of Mordor, which just kills units in Shadow Strongholds, so that's pretty good too. He declares across Moria, because of course he does. 1 eye allocated, 1 eye rolled, 2 eyes rolled, excuse me. No Will of the West, so Gandalf's going to continue to be a little late. Goes ahead and moves before I can get on top of him, but I hit for an eye, so a 1 reveal. He tanks the corruption and moves to Parth Celebrant. Okay, good luck, good roll for me. I go ahead and move the South Anduin Vale army onto him. It's looking like I might need to play a corruption game. I'm moving fairly slowly compared to the Fellowship. Can you play... Oh, and at this point, same thing happened then. So in this Reverse War of the Ring game, all the special hunt tiles start in the used hunt tile pool, and when you play the hunt tile card, they are removed from the game. So the Shadow removes the blue tiles, and the Free People removes the shadow tiles. I hope that all made sense, but for now, just know that the used pile, all the special tiles are in play when you hit Mordor. So yeah, Free People passes, Sauron goes to war, Old Forest Road and West Emnet to Ford's Vizon, pretty standard moves. And this is why, of course, why I thought about it, because I must have spent a Palantir to draw a card. I missed that. Apologies. I spend a Palantir to draw a card. Foof. Okay. And he spends a Palantir to move all my Nazgul over to Nowheresville. And since none of them are on the Fellowship, he gets to hide. So that's pretty good. So I spend a sword bringing everybody back. And he cruel weathers. So he just isn't under me anymore. That was pretty good. I go ahead and play Elven Rope to discard Elven Rope. So Elven Rope will not participate in this game because I played because I played the special card. I hope that makes sense. All right, we recover dice. He draws Candles of Corpses, which heals corruption. So it's like Athalas. And then Hordes from the East can just eliminate units on the eastern border or subtract 2 from both dice, from all dice on combat leader reroll, which can be in very specific scenarios good. I draw Mithril Coat and Sting, which I particularly like Blade of Westerness here. If a minion is in the battle, use 1 hit during the leader reroll to eliminate a hobbit of your choice. That amuses me greatly. And then Prince Imrahil. So Shield Wall is still decent. One eye allocated. 1 more rolled. 2 more rolled. Wow, I've been hot on eyes. And no wills for the free people. So Gandalf is continuing to take his sweet time, coming back from Valinor. I don't know if he technically went there when he died, but we'll go with it. Fellowship moves before I can get on top of them. They're safe. I play Mithril Coat and Sting, which again lets me redraw, just like it was Mithril Coat and Sting, but it's my choice as Shadow player. Free People's moves again is hit. I get a 2. I choose to not, and I choose to manipulate the thing. I choose to redraw, and I draw into a 3. So that's good. Better than a 2. The 2 goes back into the pool, just like normal Mithril Coat and Sting. And he chooses to take the corruption, which of course he does, because he has Candles of Corpses. Shadow moves. Is attacking, assumably, Old Forest Road. And plays Desperate Battle. Am I attacking Old Forest Road? Yep, apparently I am. I don't know why I played Desperate Battle there. Oh, I was probably trying to cancel Swarm of Bats. Not Swarm of Bats, Scouts. But the Scouts doesn't exist in the Free People's deck anymore. Whoops. Free People's passes. Shadow puts Lorien under siege from Parth Celebrant. Puts the elves to war. So they put 1 into Woodland Realm. Woodland Realm is put under siege. And Candles of Corpses is played for a heal of 2 corruption. Yep, that's pretty good. And then the Witch King comes in. So, on Woodland Realm. Pretty standard turn. Now, turn 5, the Fellowship being in 2 steps from Mordor, and the Shadow has no points. It's a little dire for the Shadow here. We're gonna need luck to turn around here. But what do we get here? So, so Free Peoples get Shadow is moving. Move 4 Free People's armies, 1 region each. That's pretty good. And a Swarm of Bats is pretty good. They also get Breaking of the Fellowship, which is basically fish for an eye. If you draw an eye, you get it gone. But it also lets you rejoin members into the Fellowship, which is pretty fun and extremely situational and won't be happening in this game. I draw Axe and Bow, which is a fun, just deal an extra corruption. And Celeborns, which is great. I need units on top of Lorien now, and I still have Thranduil's archers. So what do I discard here? Probably Swords and Ariador. The log is completely wrong because I've replaced all the images, so don't know which one I discarded. All right. Fellowship declares. 1 eye in. 1 more rolled. All right, this is decent. Still no wills for the Fellowship, which is pretty key for me as the Shadow player. Fellowship moves. Did I not roll? That must be a glitch in the playback. I'm sure I rolled, and I'm sure they were safe. So I go ahead and get a free guy in Lorien and draw into Kindred of Glorfindel. Okay. He passes, and I attack, assumably, Woodland Realm, playing a card, Swords and Eriador. So the Swarm of Bats cancels my advantageous position. One hit back. Yep, it's Woodland Realm I'm attacking. I need to make sure when we play these games over voice that I have a way to tell where we're attacking. It's hard to play these back. I press and draw into Through a Day and a Night, which allows a minion army to move 2 spaces. That's pretty good. Reverse Confusion is, of course, also pretty good. I play a card. It's the Kindred of Glorfindel for another advantageous position. 3 hits, 2 back. And Woodland Realm's down to just 1 guy, but I have no elites, so I choose to stop. Free People passes. I play Thranduil's Archers to get a free elite. Book of Mazarble's pretty funny. Move any and all minions who are not in the same region as the Fellowship. Then if a minion is in Erebor or Eredluin, and the Dwarven Nation is not at war, deactivate the Dwarven Nation and move it back to the top of the political track. Exact opposite of Book of Mazarble. So that's pretty fun. Free People passes again, hitting Woodland Realm, no card. There's the 1 hit, no hits back. 2 points. Shadows on the board. Okay. Fellowship moves to hit Mordor and is safe. Attacking Dale, assumably. There's the 1 hit back. All right, 3 points. Fellowship plays Worn with Sorrow and Toil, which lets you draw cards when you kill members of the Fellowship, or draws into Worn with Sorrow and Toil, which lets you draw cards when companions are killed, do the hunt. Going to hit Erebor, leave no one behind. I don't have enough guys to spare. I have Dane Ironfoot's guard, so that's good. I get to spawn some units on top of Erebor. Fellowship puts Worn with Sorrow and Toil into play. And yes, the small cards, I guess I didn't address this earlier, but the small cards, the little blurbs for on the table and in your hand are the old colors. So it looks like Shadow has played Worn with Sorrow and Toil. It is, in fact, the Free People who has played Worn with Sorrow and Toil. And I go ahead and put Axe and Bow in play. I'm not sure that's good. In fact, I'm fairly certain it's not. But it was funny. So I did it. Fellowship has hit the mountain. We'll look at card draws in a minute. So that's the hunt pool. We have a 21 tile hunt pool, which is not normally a sentence you get to say. Yep. Shadow has drawn into Ents, which, yep, the Free People no longer have Ents. This one spawns units in Isengard. Wisdom of Elrond moves nations back on the political track, so it's kind of a Stormcrow. Free People draw Lure of the Ring, which can place companions back onto the board, which is pretty cool. Or Stormcrow, which moves nations down on the political track, which is pretty fun. And you like the reverse Great Host here. If you have half as many units as they do, you get an extra hit. I think it's pretty fun. All right, Fellowship is revealed onto Mordor, as we said. 2 eyes allocated. Interesting. 3 eyes allocated. And 2 more rolled. I'm leaning heavy on rolling some or drawing some eyes. Finally, a will is rolled, so Gandhi can show up. He thinks about moving instantly and chooses to do so. A 1 reveal, not going to do it, although I Axe and Bow for a bonus corruption, so that's nice. I'm assuming I'm hitting Erebor against Deadly Strife, so only hitting on 6s. There's 1, there's 2 back. Yep, it was an Erebor. And I stop draw, I assume, into Sudden Strike / Dead Men of Dunharrow. So Sudden Strike. Sudden Strike is really good for Shadow. Gandalf comes in and is put in Rivendell, because if you don't have Ents, he doesn't do much good in Fangorn. And if you don't have Fear Fire Foes or Book of Mazarbul, putting him in Grey Havens doesn't make much sense. Lorien's looking a little dicey, so Rivendell it is. Hitting Erebor again. I'm not even playing Danes. I guess I just don't have time. Oh, and I don't have a muster or a Palantir, so I just can't. So I play Sudden Strike. No, one hit on the pre. One more afterwards. Oh no, the pre only hits on 6s. So 0 on the pre and 1 in battle. 2 hits back. Draw into Smeagol Helps Nice Master, so that's good to get that blue tile out of the pool. And unfortunately, he musters on Iron Hills. So yeah, I knew that was a risk of attacking Erebor again. I was kind of hoping a better roll on the Sudden Strike. So think about my options. I guess I hit Erebor. Oh no, I hit Fords of Eisen, right. Playing Nameless Wood, so I get 2 bonus hits if I hit. And so I get 6 hits. Oh no, excuse me. Just 3. But still, 3 hits is good. I choose to not press. He plays Pits of Mordor to eliminate some units in Shadow Strongholds. And I eliminate Smeagol Helps Nice Master. So the hunt pool looks like this. Still pretty good for the free peoples. Half the tiles are reveals. 4 reds are in, so still some hope for the Shadow. No musters last round, so I couldn't get the Mouth of Sauron. I draw into Athelas, which is excellent while Strider's the guide, dealing corruption on rolls, and then Path of the Woses or another Sudden Strike. So Sudden Strikes, like we said, are good. Flocks of Crebain is drawn. Not useful now, but they are terrible, can be pretty good. And Half-Orcs and Goblin Men just eliminates Isengard units on the map, so that could be nice. 1 eye allocated, 2 eyes allocated. That's it. Okay. Ooh, and no movement for the free people. So very slow on the Mordor track. The unfortunate thing is now Iron Hills has 2 elites. On the bright side, I get to play Danes. So I put a Southron and Easterling elite in Erebor, and I draw into Red Arrow. So a Scouts, which does not help the Shadow very much, but so be it. Free People's Muster in Iron Hills again. Yeah, that's going to be a pain in the butt. Southrons and Easterlings are moved down the track. Free People pass. Southrons and Easterlings are at war. The Dwarven elites go to Dale, recapturing Dale, and the Dimril Dale Elven Regular moves to North Anduin Vale, and I've spent all my musters because I used one to make the unit in Erebor rather than using a Palantir. So Dol Guldur is probably going to fall, which is annoying. I do get to use Athelas while Strider's the guide, and I roll 3 corruption, so that's pretty good. So actually, 7 corruption, 4 steps to dunk. Now, it's not 7 full corruption, it's like -2 corruption, so it's still probably pretty bad for the Fellowship. And don't be fooled by this Lure of the Ring and Breaking of the Fellowship. Remember, those are free people's cards. I don't have anything to do corruption right now. So I'm hoping on some red tile draws. I go ahead and play Wisdom of Elrond to move Rohan back up the political track. So that was pretty fun. He hides with Strider's ability. I'm hitting Erebor again with, I bet, a Sudden Strike. Yep, Sudden Strike versus Dread and Despair. Yep, so that's my pre. I get 1 hit. Yep, and there's the other one. So I get my hit on Erebor, and I have conquered Erebor. I draw into Faramir's Rangers, which allows me to kill units in Asgiliath or in the Athelians or Asgiliath. So that's pretty good. The north starts mustering in Deo, which is no bueno. And the Nazgul jump over to Lorien and the south. So free people didn't do much this round, but Shadow got 1 point ahead, but Woodland Realm's in danger, and Dol Guldur is probably going to fall. So Shadow draws into House of Stewards, which Boromir isn't going to get to Gondor, so it'll be Brave Stand. Grimbjorn. The free people drew into removing the 3 tile, the on they went tile, so that's pretty good, and fighting Uruk-hai, which prevents Isengard from pressing, from pressing. And remember, Worn with Sorrow and Toil is still on the table for the free people. So they removed a card. It's one of the recent one. I don't remember what it was because I'm that good at casting. 1 I allocated, 1 I rolled. That's a lot of musters, lots of hybrids. Free peoples get 3 movement, and they go ahead and spend their will to take Dol Guldur and to put Ered Luin with Boromir in Evendim, which is a sentence I get to say oh so often in these casts. Shadow is attacking Lorien, playing a strategy card. Advantageous position. The Book of Mazarbul would have been fun to use on the dwarves, but I didn't have the cards or the dice to do it in time to put them out from being at war. And he plays We Come to Kill, which uses the Shadow elites to hit the Shadow. So on the roll, looks like 3, 1 coming back, and nothing else. So, okay. Press. I draw into the last battle, so Daylight's good. Yep. No card. Get my 1 hit. Nothing back. Lorien falls. So, Shadow's at 6 points. Not great, but not terrible. Rohan is extremely weak and not even close to at war. Gondor is not at war. Might be able to pick up some quick and easy points here. So as long as I don't lose too much in the dew line, maybe something happens here. Free people passes. I bring in the Mouth and Mount Gundabad because I'm a little scared of Boromir in the northwest. Free people passes. Lorien moves down, and South Rune moves north to East Rune. Yes, that sentence was correct. Free peoples removes the red tile, and this is a funny thing that you don't have to move right away because there are no red tiles that are going to be added. Now, granted, you're risking blue tiles being removed, but so the hunt pool looks like this now. Not great for the Shadow, but we'll see. I get to play Through a Day and a Night as the Shadow. So the Witch King jumps down, and Helm's Deep and Adoras are in danger. He spends one of his precious moves to bring Fords of Eyes into Helm's Deep. Nope, thinks about it, moves the Fellowship, gets a 1, and just eats it, which is a little dangerous. You don't have that many more. If you get hit with a Juicy Eye or a Shelob 6, you could be in some serious trouble here, but we'll see. The South moves over, and Adoras is taken, so that's good. Fellowship moves again, gets an eye, so a 3 reveal. Goodbye, Aragorn, or Strider, I guess. And because of Worn with Sora and Toil, they draw into the Palantir of Orthanc. So that's good. I'll let you interpret that. Pelargir is attacked. Pelargir. Whatever. Great Host gets played by the Free People to do a little cheeky ping on the Southrons. And look at that. I'm one die short of taking Helm's Deep this round for 10 points. Not bad. Not bad. The muster gets spent with an Elven Ring to hide the Fellowship. Yep, that makes sense. And Helm's Deep is put under siege. So it's all going to come down to a dunk next round. Shadow draws We Prove the Swifter and Corsairs of work with me here. Okay. Shadow draws We Prove the Swifter and Riders of Theoden. So Theoden's actually really helpful here. The Free People draw into Corsairs, which lets Gondor attack Umbar. That won't be very helpful right now. And Shelob, which is apparently not displaying correctly. Pardon my something's slightly broken there. But all right, the Shelob would remove the Shelob tile. So 1 eye allocated, 2, 3, 4 eyes allocated. Sure, yeah. I mean, yeah, we might as well make the eyes really hurt. And I only need 1 die to win, theoretically. Now, Woodland Realm is in danger, but I can probably take Dol Amroth. So. And Free Peoples only gets 2 moves. They do have the Elven Rings. So they play Shelob's Lair to remove Shelob's Lair. Cool. Again, that I know it looked like something else. That it looked like Stormcrow. That's a graphical glitch. So I probably explained that wrong earlier, but bear with me. Attacking probably Helm's Deep. Not quite certain. Yep, Helm's Deep. The 1 hit is made, so Shadow is going to win. Now, Free People could spend the hybrid to move on to Woodland Realm and the will to probably take it. If they do that, I get to spend a hybrid moving to Lamadon, an army moving to Dol Amroth, and probably take it. So you have to be a little worried there. Fellowship moves and hits an eye, so it's a 4 reveal. Gimli takes 2 of it. That's pretty good. Now, the downside is he's down to Legolas and 2 hobbits, so he can soak 4 corruption before he takes anything, which means even another eye is not a win for me as Shadow. I need a red tile. I get to draw into File, so I can remove File. Free People. Oops, I accidentally moved something to the table. Fellowship hides. I spend the Elven Ring to remove the File from play. Fellowship moves with an Elven Ring, and it's a 2. So, Fellowship sacks Legolas, dunks at 10 corruption. GG. It was a pretty fast playthrough with a lot of information. I hope you all were able to follow that. But I hope you enjoyed this little video of Reverse War of the Ring, or perhaps in this Christmas time, Gift of the Magi, that Christmas tale about swapping Christmas presents by O. Henry. I hope you all enjoyed. I hope to put out a couple of these over the Christmas season without... I will record several of these, I hope, before posting any of them, so that I will be able to show people this without them having it spoiled for them. But we'll see. I hope you enjoyed, and we'll get back to some other content probably in the new year. Merry Christmas, everybody, and a Happy New Year. Bye.